I knew where all these juniper, the low bush juniper, were down by the shore. But the problem is I knew where they were in the summertime because they were there. But in the wintertime, under 6 feet of snow, I didn't know where they were. So I dug 6 holes, and I finally come across one. And she specifically told me that she wanted some of the branches with the berries on it. They froze on it, you know. It's a low bush juniper, they call it that. So I brought it over to her. She grabbed me there and hugged me and everything else. I thought, geez. So I went home and what did grandmother want that for? I said she had diarrhea. So she took it, she boiled it with the berries and made her tea. Next morning she was all right. The blisters on the balsam tree, you see the gum, you squeeze it sometime. My uncle, he cut off his top of his finger in Cold Brook, and nobody had any bandage or anything like that. So I just knew by what Dad had told me. He said, get the blisters out of a tree, sap, and punch it and pour it over the cut. And it stops the bleeding just about instantly. But 3 or 4 days later, he come to me and he said, whatever you did worked. He said, it's almost healed. This chaga that you on the trees, it's like a big fungus on the trees. Mm-hmm. You make a tea out of that. And
they use certain herbs for certain things, like for infection. And if anybody had a serious cut, like on your hand, you cut your hand or something, they'd get balsam off of the trees, and they'd close the wound, cover it with balsam, and wrap it. And you wouldn't believe how quick that healed. They used to use boiled juniper for a lot of things.
Since for cuts, coughs, colds, rashes, I make a salve, Indian salve, for rashes, elderwood salve, mm-hmm. And there's inside of a spruce tree. You'd have to be there. I'd have to take you and show you. It's hard to explain. A spruce tree. You cut the bark, and you cut it like this, and you peel it back, so you can put it back. You don't want to tear it off. Peel it back, and inside the bark there's a white film, and you scrape it off with a knife, and you make it into a ball, and you chew it, and it's good for sore gums and teeth and stuff. That's what it's for. It's very sweet, and the bubbles outside a spruce tree, they have sap in them. It was normal when I was a kid, even as an adult, to have some on the window ledge all the time. And inside there's a sap, and you cut it and you mix it with honey, mm-hmm. or molasses, and you take that for a cough. Along a brook in the woods, the bulrushes grow along, but there's many kinds. I'd have to see them to get the right one. There's bulrushes grow, and when you pull them out of the ground, there's a root on them about that long, and it's white, and it's got a film on it. You take the film off and you cut it on each end, and then you eat it for a food. It tastes like bananas. Sap from a tree is interesting. Sap. Yeah. If you cut yourself, you take the sap from a tree and put it on your hand, and then cover it and leave it. The next day it's cured.
Wives' tales, like if you had warts on your hand, take a piece of pork and rub it on, throw it back over your shoulder. And the next day, and people believe that. The only thing I remember was a poultice. Like if you had a boil, mm-hmm. or you had some cut that didn't heal, your mother put a poultice on for a couple of days, and that worked like a miracle. And people don't use it today very often, I don't think.
You know the balsam?
Yes,
you used to use that on cuts, yes. Now that you say that. Mm-hmm. You know. And if you had an infection, you would use some kind of a bread mixture and put on it to draw the infection. Same thing if you had what they call boils back then. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. But you mix bread and water and a bit of milk. And I never ever used it much, but I did draw it just to say. But the older people, I see them use that all the time.
We used to use a mixture of
lye to make soap
Lye fat.
and fat. And for wool, to color wool, instead of having just white, they used to use onion peels, boiled that up from the onions, and they used to color the wool.
There was a saying, I had bad eyes
Yeah.
from eczema. And they say, this would be from Mi'kmaq, I guess, that in the May snow, the snow in the May, if you take it and you rub it on your eyes or wherever is sore, there was healing in it.
Like if you had a sore somewhere, they would fix up some bread with, I don't know, it was baking soda or I think so, something like that, and kind of put it on where you were each where you were scratching.
Getting the gum from trees if you had, sore throat. I mean, they believed in those things, right? Being told that at some time there was a dirty wool sock. If you had a sore throat, you used a dirty wool sock on your throat, or a fish, dead fish. But that was about it.
So some kind of oil or something they used to put to the ears, especially for earache and that. Forget what kind of oil it used to be. It's meant for that, I think. Used to keep some of that in the house all the time. And Vicks was another thing, right? The colds and that.
Well, balsam gum was used for sores. And it still is. Like some people continue to use it. But I recall not that long ago, I suppose, or not long before my father died, he had a canker sore on his ankle. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor gave him a small tube of cream to use. He said he went home and never even bothered to use the cream. But I went into the woods and got some balsam gum and brought it out. He told me what to get, and I went in and got some balsam gum. Came home, just heated it in a pan on the stove, made a kind of a salve, and he used that. And it healed up the sore completely. When he went back to the doctor looked at his sore. He said, "That cream I gave you must have been really good." I said, "Yes, it was." He said there was no point in telling the doctor that he hadn't used the cream, that he had made his own, because he wouldn't have believed him anyway.
I mean, you can see if you had a sore throat, or she would put salt airing on your throat to cure the sore throat, right? And just put flannel on our chest with Vicks and stuff like that. And every spring and every fall we used to have to take senna leaves to clean out our system. Spring, clean out your blood, and and then in the fall we did the same thing. If we had a cut, well, none of us used juniper. The best best stuff we used for cuts was that what do you call it? That
Sap off the tree.
Sap off the tree. That cures perfect.
Well, some of you take out the ground one time with the white thing, we used to call it bananas.
Oh yes, they were delicious. They were delicious.
I don't even know what it's called.
No, I don't either. Banana. It was like a huge big stalk, and you pulled it out of the ground and peeled it off, and it was like a banana.
Yeah, it was on the shape of a banana.
Yeah.
But it was only about that long.
If you had a cold, or we had to go out and get some ground juniper, and it was a special kind. We had to bring that home. I remember I went and got some ground juniper for my father one time, and I brought it home, and he said, "No," he said, "that's not the kind." I said, "It's ground juniper." "No," he said, "there's no berries on them. You should go back and get one with the berries." I had to go back and get that one, and then they'd boil it, and they'd make us drink it. But I have earache after earache after earache after earache. And what they do, I don't know why, but they take an onion and they smash it up, and they put it in the bread in a clot, and they heat it up, and they stick it on the side of your ear. I don't know what that ever done, but after a while, it'd be there, and it probably was the heat. I don't know what it was, but it's almost like it was a suction coming out of your ear, and it used to actually be sore.